For those keeping score at home, back in 2009, actor Ryan Reynolds had a crack at playing the merc with a mouth in the disastrous Wolverine Origins. Now in 2016, thanks in no small part to some leaked test footage, he's getting a second kick at the can with a solo Deadpool movie. But does this one succeed, or was it a long wait for absolutely nothing? Let's dig a little deeper and find out for ourselves, shall we? This new film is an origin story for the regenerating degenerate, but one that isn't told in straightforward chronological order. As we meet Wade Wilson, he's already Deadpool. He's already on his revenge quest for those who turned him into a mutant killing machine. He also has his trademark suit, which FYI is 100% comic accurate and cool as hell. Actually, you know what? You know that freeway chase that you've seen in all those trailers? Yeah, that's the first 5 minutes of the movie. The rest sees Wade flashing back to his early days, not as his time as a mercenary overseas, but more of a good-hearted problem solver of the inner city. In a strange decision, Reynolds and the movie plays Wade as a snarky joke teller even before he goes through his super transformation. Where in the comics, we usually took it that Deadpool's erratic behavior was born out of the horrible, monstrous treatment he received. It's clear that Deadpool is a real passion project for Ryan Reynolds. I mean, why else would he go back to this well if it wasn't? And he is, really playing his heart out here. This is clearly a role that he wants to do for many years to come, and his enthusiasm truly is infectious. I have a feeling that some of the movie's best jokes were just born out of its lead simply ad-libbing his way through. Now, a very welcome surprise for me was the inclusion of Vanessa, played by Marina Baccarin, as Wade's lady love, a woman whose brand of crazy meshes with his own. She's also a hooker with a heart of gold, and considering how easy target-centric Deadpool's own brand of humor can be sometimes, I think it's cool that no one in the movie looks down on her for working in the sex industry. They meet at a bar for Soldiers of Fortune run by TJ Miller's Weasel in a hardworking and funny sidekick role. In fact, it's from that very bar where Deadpool gets his superhero name. In a weird way, Deadpool might actually end up being one of the best rom-coms of the Valentine's Day season, because when Wade finds out that he's dying of cancer, he's willing to do whatever it takes to live for Vanessa, even if it means subjecting himself to yet another super soldier program run by Ed Skieran's Ajax, who seeks to sell Deadpool to the highest bidder because evil. Now, in the comics, Ajax was the heavy of a mad scientist called Dr. Killebrew. Here, they more or less fuse the two parts together, not that it makes him all that much more interesting as a bad guy. He's just threatening enough and just pompous enough that you really want to see him get his comeuppance by the end. Joining Deadpool on his strange adventure is Colossus, who desperately wants Wade to become an X-Men. Colossus, you'll remember being horribly underutilized in the other X-Men movies, and while his part is much smaller here than the trailers might let on, his purpose in the film, now that is pretty great. More or less, he serves as the voice of the kinder, gentler superhero movies. He's a breakfast is the most important meal of the day kind of guy, a do your homework kind of mutant, and he rubs up against the much more raunchy and rebellious Deadpool. But it's his X-Men in training, Negasonic teenage warhead, who really steals the show. What's cool about her is that she's that one millennial voice in a movie that is basically one giant sloppy love letter / snark fest at 90s superheroes. She gets Deadpool, but overall she isn't very amused by him. A ballsy move for a movie that pokes fun at pretty much everything from Fox as a studio, Wolverine Origins, post-credit scenes, and even the career of Ryan Reynolds himself, to also not be afraid to poke fun at its main character. If it feels like I haven't spent much time talking about the plot, it's because, well, there isn't really one to speak of. It's a straightforward revenge story as you could ask for, packed to bursting with jokes, rapid-fire laughs. In fact, this is definitely a laugh-a-minute type picture that doesn't forget to throw in some more hardcore nerd jokes and references to please the longer-time fans. My personal favorite bits are the ones that honor Deadpool's origins as a Canadian. The action is also pretty tight, even if I felt the freeway fight was easily the best one in the entire movie and everything else was just a bit cheaper in comparison. And then again, let's not forget this was a movie made on the super cheap, a fact that, yep, you guessed it, gets lampshaded and made fun of by the fourth wall breaking Deadpool. The soundtrack is another high point I would be remiss if I didn't mention. We all know about DMX and Salt and Pepper from the trailers, but get ready for, get this, the Deadpool rap. No, really, he gets his own unironic rap theme song like something you would see from a late 90s summer blockbuster. Now, everyone and their mothers has been making a big deal about the movie's rating, and yes, there are plenty of fucks and some more in-your-face sex scenes, as well as some blink and you'll miss them boobies, but overall, it's not anywhere near as violent or depraved as the marketing might lead you to believe. believe. Then again, I might just be jaded from years worth of R-rated movies. Chances are, if you're old enough to be really into Deadpool from all his appearances in video games and cartoons but aren't actually old enough to legally go see Deadpool in theaters, then this is probably going to be a big touchstone movie for you, to which I say more power to you. I also don't know if it's the big comedy deconstruction of the superhero genre everyone was hoping it would be. They do get some funny jabs in about how every superhero seems to land the same way nowadays, and how keeping the X-Men timeline straight is super confusing, but it's all pretty surface level stuff. Deadpool is the first real big superhero movie of 2016, and I'm proud to say that I think it's gotten things off to a pretty good start. It's maybe not the game changer Fox was looking for, but as far as experiments go, I think it's going to pay off. It's got some huge crossover appeal. I know my theater was packed with lots of different people who enjoyed the hell out of it. I know I laughed consistently throughout and even found myself getting more invested in the whole romantic side plot than I ever thought possible. Hopefully, if this movie becomes a huge success, and I see no reason why it shouldn't, maybe Fox will let their other X movies start to have just a little bit more fun. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll feel like checking out some more videos I have on offer here at Cape Joel.